America's accountant, Dan Geltrude. Dan, thank you so much for joining me. So Dan, what do you make of these reports? I feel like we're finally delivering some good news here because we've had a lot of bad news when it comes to the supply chain crisis and inflation.
It is good news, Steph, and I think everybody is going to be happy to hear this, but let's see how it plays out. Remember, just because that we're getting things straightened out, let's say with China and how cargo ships are coming into the United States, we still have to be aware of those truck drivers, right, who have to take all these supplies and goods out to their destination. So we still have to be careful about how this is going to play out. We're still short in terms of supply, and demand is still riding as high as ever. So although we're headed in the right direction, we are nowhere near the finish line of where we need to be.
Yeah, no, you hit on so many great points. I'm not going to hold my breath. Like, obviously, we want to be optimistic and we'd like to see things running as usual in this country. But again, it's not just about what's on the ships. It's about who's taking things off the ships, who's delivering it to the stores. And keep in mind, we're still in this battle with the COVID-19 business mandates, and that might still have an impact on the workforce as well.
Yeah, it absolutely will. Look, we still do not have enough people working. I think right now there's still over 10 million job openings out there. So clearly we need to get people back to work. And that has always been, to me, the core of what's driving the supply chain problem, which of course is lending itself to inflation. We don't have enough people back to work. And these companies need more time to be able to figure out how to work around that shortage, whether it's using technology or outsourcing in some other way. So we're getting there, but still we have a ways to go.
All great points on that. As for this week, it's Thanksgiving week and millions of Americans will be traveling, and it's going to be a big test for the airlines. Do you think they're going to be able to handle it?
Well, let's hope so, or it's going to really be a mess in all these airports around the country. Keep in mind that the airlines are still dealing with not having enough people to work. So big travel week this week, so we already know that the system is going to be challenged. Let's hope that the airlines and the airports and everyone else that's related to the travel industry has worked through this, because if not, it's really going to be quite a mess. So let's keep our fingers crossed that we're going to be able to survive this one.
Yeah, I saw this too. United Airlines, they resume serving hard liquor on flights ahead of the holiday travel season. Might be a bad recipe, could be a little bit of a disaster. Think of all of the angry viral videos we've seen of people, being upset over mask wearing, and tensions have been running high, obviously, at airports because of all the rules. So I'm wondering how alcohol will play into effect with that. But also, it's kind of a sign that things are coming back to normal. The fact that United Airlines is willing to consider serving alcohol on their flights again.
Well, listen, I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with allowing people to have a little bit of a drink here and there, kind of calm things down a little bit. Of course, I think some of these incidents we've seen is people have kind of gone over the limit, and then of course all the wheels come off. But I think allowing people to have a drink or two when they're on the airplane is a positive thing.
Yeah, and then one more thing I wanted to get to, Christmas trees and what people can expect to pay this year. What do you think?
Well, say it ain't so that we're going to have inflation even on our Christmas trees. Whether they're live trees or artificial trees, we're seeing that inflation is going to be hitting that as well. So, if you don't have your artificial tree from last year or the year before that you can use yet again, it looks like you're going to be paying more for Christmas trees. So, it's an unfortunate situation, especially with the spirit of Christmas. But, you need to have that tree. So if you're going to have to spend a little extra, maybe you got to cut back on something else. But got to have the tree, Steph.
Yeah, the numbers is they're saying that people could expect to pay between 10% and 30% for both live trees and artificial trees. And Dan, as you pointed out, those who already have their artificial trees that are working, I guess they're in luck this year. Well, Dan, we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Steph.
Of course. Coming